Hello, it is, what is the date? July 12th, and I am pregnant. Yes, so we found out about a week ago that I am with child, which is pretty fun. I'm not even pregnant, like fully pregnant yet, but my body's doing some weird things. Like I just need to be eating all the time. It's pretty much but this next 9 months is going to be really interesting. So I just wanted to start out, and yeah, this is the beginning. We're at week 5. I've already got a lot of symptoms. Hopefully they don't get too much worse. They very well could, but hopefully they don't. Yeah. Woohoo! Here we go. So we are like 6.5 weeks in, so still really early. We've already hit a little road bump. Baby's okay, but we had to cancel our summer vacation because we had a miscarriage scare a little bit. While we were driving up north, it's a southern accent, I don't know why I did that, up north, to go for a week-long backpacking trip. The complications got worse, and we were on the phone with nurses and my care team on the way up there, and they told me that you should not go backpacking, you need to get an ultrasound. And so we came back to the cities, had to cancel our trip, and got an ultrasound finally at the ER on Sunday, and baby is okay. That's great. I was really concerned. I stopped watching like pregnancy videos on YouTube just because I was like, I don't know how this is gonna end up, things like that. It's really emotional and scary, right? Very scary, very scary. But we're on the other side of it. I am pretty nauseous most of the time, and but I'm getting a little bit better at knowing what to do. This morning I woke up at 4 a.m. to eat, and then at 6:30 a.m. to eat, and then I like kind of got up, and then I ate again at 8 a.m. And so far that's been working really well, because usually when I wake up I'm so far gone in nausea that it takes me like most of like until noon to get back to feeling normal, or like anywhere even close to normal. So far the foods that have been helping are waffles, chicken nuggets, ravioli. Oh, that was so good last night, ravioli. I don't have an appetite for coffee. That makes me sick. Looking at alcohol makes me nauseous. It's like I'm hungover. Excuse the car, it's loud. Like overstimulation is really overwhelming. Like we went into a store in Grand Marais, and I'm like, I almost started crying because I'm like, this is just, it's too much. It's too many lights, too many items and products to look at. Just eating all the time before you get hungry. That's what I'm learning, is if you get to the point where you're hungry, you've lost. It's gonna take you like 2 hours to get back. You need to eat before you're hungry. That's all I have. Yes, all in all, update. Baby is healthy. Baby is about 2 centimeters long, like a blueberry. And the due date is March 12th of 2022. I hope to keep you updated throughout this first trimester. So far, it's a doozy, and I did not have enough sympathy for the people and women in my life who have been pregnant before, because wow, it's really tough. It is difficult, and yes, it is very difficult. Wow. So I'll keep you updated. I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited. Pregnancy update. A little update video. We are at week 9.5. And they say that the morning sickness ends around week 10. I'm 9.5, and I hope that that's true, because wow. it's rough. I pretty much can pick either the morning or the afternoon to get anything done, uncomfortably, but I can get it done. So I needed to paint something this morning, and so I was able to do that. It didn't turn out great, but I was able to do it. And now the second half of the day is here, and I am so sick, and just, I can, like, the thought of walking up a staircase sounds terrible to me. I'm very happy to be pregnant. I'm very excited about the baby. The baby is about the size of a grape. So I'm very thankful. I'd rather be sick and pregnant than not sick and not pregnant. It's just, I think it's more intense than I anticipated. I don't feel good. It's been a while since I've felt good. Maybe like a month. And I feel like a loser a lot of the time because I'll like do a small task and then I'll be like, I'm done. I told John, my husband John, that I was like, okay, I need to paint clouds today and I need to make shepherd's pie today. And that's what I'm gonna do today. And he's like, that sounds great. I was like, it sounds like not a lot, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a lot. It's definitely like emotional as well. When you don't feel good for so long, it gets like super tiring, even more so. Like, I've been so not productive for so long. I was talking to some other women who have kids, and I was like, when you were pregnant, did you like have to eat all the time to suppress your nausea and you were just exhausted? And they were like, no, not really. And I was like, what? What kind of sick joke is this? Anyways, all in all, it's just a little update on first trimester, where we're at. I'm snacking on some energy bites. Those are nice. They're nice packed protein bites. A few weeks away from second trimester, and I'm very much looking forward to it. I hope what they say is true, that I'll have some energy back, things will kind of be a little bit normal, and I'll be able to eat normal foods again. Yeah, I'm hoping for all those wonderful things. Anyways, I'll see you in the next update. Toodles! This is me at 5:30 in the morning. It's August 16th. It's John's birthday. But I woke up at 4:30 to go to the bathroom. Couldn't sleep because baby was hungry. And baby gets what baby wants. So I'm eating mashed potatoes and bourbon chicken because in the morning, that's all I want is like dinner food, like solid calories. Baby wants to hit the ground running each and every day, and I like that. Anyways, it feels weird, but it tastes great. We are almost at week 12, which is awesome. That means that we are almost done with the first trimester. And yeah, it kind of feels like it went by fast a little bit, regardless of how frustrating and painful it was. I think looking back at the last 2 months that I've known that I was pregnant, it was almost like the not being able to work and get things done and just like being like out for the count so much was more frustrating than actually being sick. Because when you're sick, you get to lay down, and it's frustrating, and I did cry a lot just because I'm in pain and I didn't know what to do and all that jazz. But I think it was more frustrating just knowing of all the things that I really wanted to do and kind of needed to do and couldn't do that much. Thankfully I had an art fair, and that was really helpful to kind of just give some structure to work around, but it was still really difficult. at times. We're pretty much better. I don't get sick all that much anymore. As I have a good amount of energy, except for the last 2 days I was like crazy tired, which it was a bit of an anomaly, but and then I don't get nauseous that much, but when I do get nauseous, I'm like, I think I'm about to throw up. So it's like not as consistent nausea, but then if I do get nauseous, I'm like bent over a bucket. But I've only thrown up once. My food aversions are not as bad anymore. Well, the thought of eggs sounds absolutely terrible. I'm not really interested in coffee. There's a lot of foods that I've eaten too much of. Like, I don't want ravioli. That sounds disgusting. When I used to eat it all the time. Like a month ago. Like, I think my temper has changed. Like, the hormones are just like making it so hard to be stable and level-headed. Like, I was hungry this morning and I like shoved food in my face and I was still so hungry and I was like losing it, and I was like, I hadn't been able to go to the grocery store in a few days because I had been so exhausted. I just didn't make it to the grocery store, and then today I was like stuck at home and there's no food and I'm like, this is the worst. And so I drove somewhere to get food, but then on the way, like, every car was taking their time and I couldn't handle it. I was like freaking out because these cars were going so slow and I'm like, I'm so hungry. It's not my normal self, which is kind of frustrating and kind of difficult to maneuver, kind of feeling like I'm acting like a teenager but not having a ton of control over it at the same time. Like, the hormones you get when you kind of get into puberty and how like you react in ways that aren't yourself. That's kind of what I feel like is happening. I don't like it at all because it means that I'm being unkind a lot of times, and I don't like that at all. I mean, the baby's now going to be the size of about a lime, maybe like 2 inches big, which is crazy. Am I showing yet? Kind of. Like, I'm bloated, but I'm not. It doesn't feel like I'm showing. If I'm showing anything, it's just my lunch, and that's pretty easy to do. It's not flat, but it's not like a bump, so I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Oil painting is a bit difficult because I can't use mineral spirits to clean the brushes. I have to use gloves, like these weird rubber gloves that are annoying to use, and I have to wear a mask, and it's just bothersome. So maybe for Christmas I'll invest in like a good set of acrylic paints and learn how to do that, or I don't really know. It's starting to get kind of annoying. I've only ever worked with oil paint, and so it's odd to start thinking about using a different medium, and maybe it will be too frustrating and I'll just go back, and I would rather use the gloves and the mask, but I'm not really sure. No, I think what weirds me out is the whole caffeine thing. Everyone that's never been pregnant before really gets confused about the fact that I can drink caffeine, and it requires like an explanation, which is funny to me because it's like, it's been a while. Pregnant women can drink up to 200 milligrams of caffeine, but almost everyone that I talk to about pregnancy that's not been pregnant recently or before, they're like, you can drink caffeine? And I'm like, yes. Pregnant women can have caffeine, up to 200 milligrams in fact. And even some pregnant women are like, oh, I haven't had caffeine the whole pregnancy, but I really want a pumpkin spice latte. Do you think I can do it? And I'm like, obviously yes. I went shopping for maternity clothes today. There's not a ton of options. I don't like that so many maternity clothes have like mama or my little sunshine written on the belly or mom life. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not buying those clothes. That's all I have to say. I guess this is the end of the first trimester. It's probably my last video before we are in the second trimester. So, yeah, it's been real. It's been fun. A third of the pregnancy is over, and I am very happy about that, which is it's arguably the worst one. So I'm happy to toddle along onto the next golden stage, as they call it. I'm very eager about that. And that's it. Oh, I think I just peed a little bit.